Douglas, will you just wash your hands already? I mean, seriously, it's like every single day I have to tell you the same thing over and over. Do you even realize how exhausting it is to repeat myself? I'm tired of it. You think I enjoy sounding like a broken record? I'm tired of cooking, cleaning, and still having to remind you of something so basic.
You gotta be kidding me. I can't even breathe in my own house without getting criticized. I walk in the door and boom, you're on me, making every little thing I do seem like some kind of crime. Do you hear yourself? It's like I'm under surveillance 24/7. This is supposed to be my house, but I feel like I'm a guest in it. You're driving me crazy with this constant nagging. I ask you, is this what a home is supposed to feel like? Should I be uncomfortable in my own space?
If you just followed the simplest rules, it wouldn't be like this. If you respected the fact that I need cleanliness in this house, we wouldn't have these problems. It's not about controlling you, Douglas. It's about living together without me feeling like I'm picking up after a teenager. If you just made the effort, we'd both be happier. You wouldn't have to hear me nag, and I wouldn't have to live with someone who acts like basic hygiene is a foreign concept. Doesn't that sound better?
Come on, everyone forgets to wash their hands once in a while. Do you really expect me to remember every single time I walk in the door? People make mistakes, Marlene. You're acting like I've committed some kind of felony because I didn't wash my hands. It's not that big of a deal.
Once in a while. Douglas, it's not once in a while. It's literally every single time. You never wash your hands when you come home, and I'm sick of it. You can't keep telling me it's a mistake when it happens every day. That's a habit, not an accident, and frankly, it's disgusting.
So you're keeping count now? Do you sit there with a notepad checking off every time I don't wash my hands? No wonder you're always stressed and pissed off. You've got a whole scorecard going. No wonder you hate me. I'd hate me too if I was tallying up every little mistake.
It's not about keeping score. It's about decency, Douglas. It's about respecting the house we share and the people we live with. This isn't just about you. We have kids. You're setting a terrible example. I don't want them growing up thinking it's okay to be so careless with their health. If you can't handle following the simplest house rules, maybe you're better off living alone. Seriously, why did we even get married? You can't even do the bare minimum.
Oh, right, here it comes. You didn't seem to mind when I was out working all those hours, bringing home the paycheck that keeps this house running. When you're sitting on your ass spending my hard-earned money, I don't hear any complaints. But the second I ask for a little peace and quiet, you've got a list of problems. It's funny how that works, huh?
You know what's funny, Douglas? How you always manage to turn everything into an attack. I try to talk to you about something simple, like hygiene, for God's sake, and you turn it into a whole rant about money and work. You're so out of touch with reality that you don't even see how ridiculous you sound. It's sad, really. And yeah, I can't stand you. You're impossible to live with.
As if you ever liked me. Don't act like this is something new. You've been hating me for years. I see it in the way that you look at me, the way that you talk to me. You can't stand me, and you know what? The feeling is mutual.
Of course I hate the way you behave. You smoke in the house when I've asked you a million times not to. You drink from the same bottle as the kids, which is disgusting. You don't even wash your hands before touching everything after being out. It's like you have no respect for anyone, not even your own family. I can't stand living with someone who doesn't care about anyone but himself.
Oh, so now you're watching everything I do? Do I wash my hands? Do I touch the doorknob? Do I breathe too loudly? God, you've turned into a surveillance system. You notice every little thing I do wrong. It is exhausting just hearing you talk about it.
Douglas, it's not about being a surveillance system. It's about basic respect. When I'm preparing food for this family, I wash my hands not once, but twice before touching any ingredients. That's because I care about this family. I want to keep them safe and healthy. But you don't even think about it. You don't think about anyone but yourself. You have no concept of what it means to care for someone else.
Think? You want to talk about thinking? I think all day long at work, figuring out how to keep this family afloat. I am busting my ass out there, making sure we have a roof over our heads and food on the table. And now you expect me to come home and think about washing my hands too? When does it end? When do I get a break? You want me to stay home? I'll stay home. I'll sit here all day long and wash my hands like you want. You go out there, earn the paycheck, and take care of everything. You make enough money to support this family for a month, and then maybe, just maybe, I'll wash my hands without you asking. How about that?
God, you're unbelievable. You never take anything seriously. Not once have you ever changed. It's the same thing every single day. I'm exhausted. I can't do this anymore.
You think I enjoyed this? You think I love being in this miserable marriage, stuck with someone who hates me? We're both miserable, Marlene. We're both stuck in this hellhole of a life.
The only reason I'm still here is because of the kids. If it weren't for them, I would have been gone years ago. Do you think I enjoy living like this? I regret marrying you every single day. I should have listened to my mother when she told me not to marry you.
Oh, shut up.
Oh!
You always bring up your mother. I told you, if you mention that woman one more time, I'm gonna lose it.
Why are you hitting me? Stop!
Didn't I tell you not to talk about your mother? I warned you, didn't I? You push, and this is what happens. Where's your mother? Why isn't she coming out to say hello? She's not gonna hide all day, is she?
What? What do you mean?
I'm asking you, is your mother home or not? I've been here long enough and she hasn't bothered to come out and say a word to me.
Yeah, she's home.
Then why isn't she coming out to greet me? She thinks she can just ignore me now?
She's busy cleaning right now. She didn't know you were coming over.
Does she always come home this early, or is she hiding from me?
Yeah, she's usually home around this time. She's been working a lot and coming home early to rest.
And where's Chase? What's he doing that he can't be bothered to show up when I'm here?
He's playing soccer with some of the guys from the neighborhood. It's a tournament, Dad.
What?
I was thinking maybe instead of pizza today we could get burgers. It's just me and I'm craving a burger.
Why?
Well, since Chase isn't here, I thought it'd be nice to grab burgers. You can drop me off at home after. I've got a ton of homework to get done before tomorrow.
I was gonna take you to the pool today. Why the change of plans? I thought that you liked going to the pool.
It's just, Dad, I don't want you to waste your money. We can do something cheaper.
Mallory, I have money. I'm not broke.
No, Dad, really. Aunt Karen said you've got to save every penny because of the child support. I don't want to put extra pressure on you.
Who told you that? Aunt Karen? She doesn't know anything.
She said it when she was talking to Mom.
If your mother cared about me even half as much as you do, I wouldn't have had to get a divorce in the first place.
Mallory, sweetheart, you're okay. Chase over here is so brave, but why are you so upset? There's no need to cry, Mallory. I know things are tough right now, but listen. I can't tell you that children from divorced families are always happy. That would be a lie, and I'm not going to sugarcoat things just to make you feel better. What do you mean, Miss Thompson? What I mean is that there's no guarantee of happiness when your parents split up. It's hard for everyone. But even though I can't promise that everything will be sunshine and rainbows, I do want to tell you something important. Something you really need to hear. What's that? In most cases, children from broken homes, well, they don't tend to succeed as much. It's sad, but it's a fact. Without both parents to guide them, they struggle. So you have to work twice as hard, Mallory. You have to focus on your studies, and you've got to make your mom proud. You owe it to her. I owe it to her? What do you mean, Miss Thompson? Of course, Mallory. Your mom went through a lot of hardship to get out of that marriage. She's probably not happy right now, which means you need to be the one to make her life better. You've got to give back to her by studying hard, getting good grades, and making something of yourself. That's how you show gratitude. Show gratitude?
How is that supposed to make her happy?
Well, she's unhappy because of everything that happened with your dad. The divorce, the stress, it takes a toll. But if you can succeed, if you do well, that can bring her some joy. Don't let her down. You have to step up now, and you definitely shouldn't blame her for your own unhappiness. That's not fair.
Why would I be unhappy? Who says I'm unhappy?
Are you saying you're not unhappy?
What do you mean? What exactly do you think I'm supposed to be sad about?
Well, everything. Divorce is a sad thing, Mallory. It's hard on kids. Isn't it making you feel, well, sad?
So you think I'm unhappy, right, Miss Thompson?
I just mean the more difficult your family situation is, the harder life can be. And with a situation like yours, where your parents are divorced, I just think it's important for you to be aware of how tough it's gonna be. Kids from broken homes don't have it easy.
But maybe it doesn't have to be so hard, Miss Thompson.
What's that, Chase?
I mean, why do you keep telling us that it's going to be so hard, that we're going to be unhappy, and that we won't succeed just because our parents are divorced? I don't get it.
You're too young to understand, Chase. You haven't seen how things work yet. But trust me, when a family falls apart, it affects everything. It makes life unstable, and that instability can follow you into adulthood. That's why I'm telling you to focus on your studies, to make sure you can still have a bright future despite the challenges.
But, Miss Thompson, what you're saying, it's just weird. I don't get why you're so focused on telling us that we're destined to fail or something. That doesn't seem right.
Telling you to show respect and gratitude to your mom isn't weird, Chase. Your mother is the one keeping things together for you after all. You should appreciate that.
It's not that it's a bad thing to say, Miss Thompson. It's just the way that you're saying it doesn't make sense. You keep talking like we're supposed to be miserable or something just because our parents aren't together anymore.
Oh, Chase, come here. Let me give you a hug.
No thanks, Miss Thompson. I think we'll just go. Come on, Mallory, let's get out of here.
Hey, sweetie, what are you doing right now?
Oh, hi, Mom. I'm just taking a nap.
Well, it's been raining all day, so I made some pancakes. I'll leave them on your desk for you.
Oh, that's what I've been smelling. Sundays are so peaceful.
Yeah, especially when it's raining like this.
It's even better because you don't have to go to the store today. I love it when we can just relax.
I love it too, honey. Martin took Jackson to the boathouse, so it's nice and quiet. You've got your snack now, so I think I'm gonna take a nap myself.
Mom?
Yes?
I had a dream.
What kind of dream?
I dreamt about you and Dad fighting.
Why are you dreaming about your dad? He wasn't a good person.
Mom?
Yes?
No matter what, he's still my dad.
Yes, that's true.
So stop calling him your dad like he's some stranger.
Why does it bother you?
Because when you say your dad and when he says your mom, it makes me feel like I'm not part of either of you. I feel split in half. It's like only Chase and I are on the same side. You remarried, had another kid with your new husband. Dad remarried and had 2 more kids with his new wife. It's just me and Chase now. Like we're the only ones left who belong together.
I get it. But what about your exams? The SAT is coming up soon and you can't waste time daydreaming like this. Get up and hit the books.
When I was younger, my parents fought so much that I used to sit there and think to myself, why don't they just get divorced already? It felt like I repeated that thought 1,000 times in my head, over and over again. My childhood was filled with nothing but memories of how hard it was to live in that house. I remember my brother and I huddling together in our tiny room, shaking with fear every time they argued. We'd listen to the shouting, trying to block out the sounds, but it was impossible. My mom even had pictures on her phone, photos of bruises she got from my dad hitting her. Seeing those was enough to make me pray for their divorce like it was the only way to escape. I prayed constantly, please let them get divorced, please let them split up. And eventually they did. But it didn't end there. After the divorce, both of them went on to start new families. My mom remarried and had another child, and my dad did the same. Now it feels like my brother and I are the leftovers, the remnants of a family that no longer exists. We've become the unwanted pieces of two different families. It's like the worst possible outcome.
It's been a long time.
A long time? What are you talking about, Brendan? It's only been 10 days. That's hardly what I'd call a long time.
Well, 10 days feels like forever when I haven't heard from you at all. So what about it? You said you needed some time to think, to figure things out, and that we shouldn't talk until you've made a decision. Well, it's almost been 2 weeks and I'm still waiting. Did you do all that deep thinking you talked about? Why are you staying so quiet now? You've had plenty of time to organize your thoughts.
I've sorted everything out. I know what I want now.
Good, then you owe me an answer, don't you? Are you finally gonna give me a response? You can't leave me hanging like this forever.
Brendan, I appreciate your feelings more than you know. Really, I do. But I've thought about it and I've made up my mind. I can't marry you. I'm sorry, but I just can't go through with it.
What? What do you mean you can't marry me? Oh, why not? You can't just drop something like that and expect me to accept it without an explanation. We were supposed to be getting married, Mallory. Everyone knows about us. They think that we're gonna be together forever. What happened? Why are you saying this now?
Brendan, don't do this. This isn't something you can push me into. It's not a decision I can take lightly. It's not something you should force. Marriage, it's not something I want. I don't want to tie myself down with a promise that can't last forever.
Who said anything about forever? I never promised you that marriage would be some eternal, unbreakable thing. Who's been putting those ideas into your head?
I have. I don't believe in forever, Brendan. I don't believe in marriage, or love, or truth, or even the idea of eternal love. None of that exists for me. It's not real.
Mallory, I'm not asking you to believe in forever. That's not what I'm looking for here. I don't expect you to think that we'll last for all eternity. I just want to marry you because I love you. Isn't that enough? Isn't love reason enough to get married?
It might be for some people, but not for me. We need to stop seeing each other, Brendan. It's better for both of us. Trust me.
How is this better? Better for who? Certainly not me. How is walking away from each other supposed to help anything?
It's better for you and it's better for me too. This is what's best for both of us. You'll be better off without me and I'll be doing what's right for myself. It's not a bad thing.
I don't get it. What are you talking about? I can't just let you go, Mallory. I can't do this without you.
Even couples who think they can't live without each other end up as strangers after they get married. You know what the divorce rate is, right? Do you think all those people knew they were going to end up divorced when they said I do?
Why are we talking about other people's divorces? What do divorce statistics have to do with us? What does it matter what happens to someone else?
It matters because I don't want that to be us. I don't want to end up like that. We come from such different worlds. You know that as well as I do.
Is this about money? You're upset because my family has more money than yours? Is that really what this is about?
No, it's not just about money. It's about my family and my life. We come from a broken home, Brendan. My parents got divorced when I was young. They both went off and remarried. Mom to one man, dad to another woman. My brother and I were raised by mom, but dad remarried and had 2 more kids. And my brother, well, he just got married and moved close by.
Yeah, okay, I get it. Your family's a little complicated, but lots of families are. Divorce isn't the end of the world. Sometimes it's for the best.
It was for the best in our case. Mom and dad were worse than strangers by the time they split up. They couldn't even stand to be in the same room.
Right, so in the end, it was better for them. But sticking together when it's nothing but misery, that's its own kind of hell. They had to split up.
Yeah, they did. And that's when I met my stepdad. And that's when I started living this abnormal childhood.
None of that is your fault, Mallory.
I know it's not my fault, but it still affected me. To me, it was an abnormal life. To my parents, maybe it was a blessing. They found happiness in their new marriages.
Look, just because your parents got divorced, it doesn't mean everyone's gonna end up unhappy. Divorce doesn't guarantee sadness, and staying married doesn't guarantee happiness.
You're right, but growing up in a divorced family still left me with a lot to think about. My parents have both remarried, and they seem happy now. But I couldn't help but notice how they were so much more at ease with their new families. I never saw them smile like that when they were together. I never heard them talk so softly, so kindly to each other when they were married. It made me wonder, was I just a product of their unhappiness?
Mallory, you're overthinking this. If they're happy now, isn't that a good thing?
Yes, in some ways it is. But every time I think about the way they were before they got divorced, it just makes me question everything. It makes me wonder, who am I? What's my place in all of this?
What do you mean by that? What are you really trying to say?
It's a feeling only someone from a divorced family would understand. I grew up not being able to trust anyone. I don't believe in love, Brendan. I don't trust people.
You can trust me.
No, I can't. You come from a normal, loving family. You don't get it. You grew up in a happy home, surrounded by parents who love each other. I've seen guys like you, guys from happy families, fall in love with girls like me, girls from broken homes. They think it's gonna work out, but it never does.
What does that have to do with us? Why are you bringing up other people's relationships?
Because I've seen it happen too many times. A guy from a perfect family with parents who are still together and happy, and a girl like me who comes from a broken home. It just doesn't work. We don't fit together.
I don't care about your parents' divorce. I don't care that your family is complicated. That doesn't matter to me.
It's not about what you care about. It's about what society thinks. People are judgmental. I saw a news report once. Kids from divorced families have a higher chance of getting divorced themselves. It's like this stigma that follows us.
I don't get why anyone would hold that against you. It's not fair. I mean, come on, Mallory. What kind of old-fashioned nonsense is that?
It's not about fairness. It's about how things are.
That's ridiculous. We don't live in the 1950s anymore. People don't care about that stuff. Well, at least not like they used to.
You'd be surprised. There's still this expectation. People still want to marry into stable, happy families. People from good homes are more confident, more self-assured. It's like this unwritten rule that the first thing you look for in a partner is whether their parents are still together. It's stupid, but it's real.
What do you want me to do with that information? How does that help us?
It doesn't. It's just how I've always thought about things. All my friends who grew up with both parents, they were so sure of themselves. They had such strong, happy relationships. And now they're all married, and they all seem so at peace.
And?
Their in-laws welcomed them with open arms. I bet they didn't have to fight for approval. And those friends, they always talked about their families with pride. You could see it in the way they carried themselves. They just knew they were loved. I never had that, and I'm always second-guessing myself. That's why I'm never quick to answer you, Brendan. That's why I take so long to think. I'm constantly worried about how people will see me, how they'll judge me.
Being thoughtful isn't a bad thing, Mallory. You don't have to tie yourself up in knots about it.
I've been listening to Mom badmouth Dad my whole life. I grew up hearing nothing but complaints about money, about how Dad never did enough, how he was always letting us down. And all I could do was listen. You don't know what it's like to grow up in that kind of environment. Every time I saw other kids with happy, loving parents, it made me so jealous.
You can't keep blaming yourself for their problems. Your parents' issues aren't your fault.
I know that.
But it's left a mark on you. Growing up in a divorced family has really hurt you, hasn't it?
It's not just that, Brendan. My family was never even close to normal. But your family? Your parents both went to amazing schools. They have these prestigious careers. And your life, it just seems so perfect.
That's not a reason we can't be together.
I just don't want to end up hurt. I've been hurt enough already. I can't handle anymore. I hate getting hurt, Brendan. I've had enough. I've spent too many nights lying awake wondering how my life turned into this. Waking up in a world where the man who's supposed to be my dad is a stranger.
So what, everything we had together was just a game to you? Was it all just fun and games?
No, that's not it. It's just, I knew from the beginning that this was a dead-end road. I knew exactly where it would lead. I walked into this with my eyes wide open, fully aware that it wasn't going to end well. But I kept going, pretending like I didn't see where it was headed. I'm sorry, Brendan. I knew the outcome all along, yet I still pushed forward. Maybe it's because even though I wasn't completely sure about my feelings for you, I needed to believe in the idea of love. I needed something to hold on to, even if it wasn't real. Maybe I just needed to feel like I was capable of loving someone, even if deep down I wasn't entirely convinced.
You're acting like people still run away from relationships just because their parents got divorced. Where are you getting this from? Who still talks like that? It doesn't make any sense. We live in a different time now. People don't let things like being from a divorced family define their whole lives anymore. Why are you letting something like that be the reason you're walking away? It's ridiculous.
It doesn't matter, Brendan. We need to stop seeing each other. After today, this is it. I don't want to drag this out any longer. This is the last time.
You're saying that this is the last time? You're saying that we should stop seeing each other just like that? You're talking about ending this so easily, so casually, like it doesn't even matter to you. You're throwing around words like last time as if it's no big deal. Do you really mean that?
Brendan, I don't want this to get messy. I really, really don't. I don't want us to get to the point where things become ugly between us. I hate it when things get messy.
It's not gonna get messy. We're not gonna let it get to that point.
No, that's not true. It almost always ends up that way. People tend to make things messy when they end. That's just how it goes.
Who are these people you keep talking about? Show me these examples you keep basing this on. Where are all these cases you've seen? Who are these people who've made things so messy? And even if it is true for other people, why are you comparing us to them? We're not them, Mallory. Everyone's life and every relationship is different. Just because something happened to someone else doesn't mean it's going to happen to us. Their story is theirs, and ours is ours. Listen, Mallory, I'm a guy, and because I'm a guy, I know how guys think. I can see things that you might not be able to see. You need to let that guy go. He's not right for you, and you know it. Hey, are you even listening to me? Am I talking to myself here? I'm your older brother, and you should at least respect what I have to say. Why are you just sitting there with your mouth shut, not saying anything?
What do you expect me to say?
How about starting with agreeing that you're gonna break up with him? That's what you need to say, but instead you just sit there staying quiet like always. You're doing it again! Hey, look at me! You know what your worst habit is? You are so stubborn. It drives me crazy. But the thing that is the most frustrating about you, do you know what it is? It's that you never respond right away when someone talks to you. Whether it's mom or me, you always just wait a long time before you say anything. It's like you have to be asked twice before you give an answer, and that makes people feel really annoyed. You know that?
Chase, that's enough. Don't push your sister like that.
I'm just being honest, Mom. Look, I get it. She's not gonna be all smiles when I tell her that I don't like her boyfriend. And yeah, she probably hates hearing that her one and only brother thinks that her boyfriend isn't good enough. But here's the thing, Mallory. Men can see right through other men. I don't like him, and there is something about him that just doesn't sit right with me. He's not the kind of guy that I would trust.
Well, I'm not dating him, so you'll be happy with him, Chase.
I'm your brother. As your brother, don't you think I have the right to tell you when I think your future husband is a bad choice? Don't I get a say in this?
There's never gonna be a guy that you think is good enough for me, is there? Honestly, I never even expected you to approve of anyone. I knew from the start that no one would ever be good enough for you.
What exactly does this guy do again?
He works for a company that develops automated control systems. It's a pretty big deal.
He looks like a total nerd, though. Almost like he's, not into girls. He's just got that vibe.
Don't say that about someone else's son, Chase. He's a decent guy. He just looks quiet. You can't judge him without knowing him. You don't even know what kind of person he is, so stop with the assumptions.
Not every guy has to look like you, Chase. Not every man needs to have a rugged, tough around the edges appearance. Some guys are just quieter, more introverted.
Well, he sure looks like a geek. I'm just saying, don't get too involved with him until you've really thought it through. You don't want to ruin your life just because you didn't take a hard look at who you're dating. Be smart about this, Mallory. Don't mess things up.
You don't need to stress out so much about it, Chase. I know what I'm doing. I can handle my own life.
I'm not just some random guy on the street, Mallory. I'm your brother. It's my job to worry about you. If I didn't care, I wouldn't be telling you any of this. I'm trying to look out for you because I care about you.
Chase, I really don't think he's the kind of person you're making him out to be.
Mom, how would you even know? Have you even spent any real time with the guy? I've seen enough bad guys in my time to know when someone's trouble. I've worked all sorts of jobs, including construction sites with all kinds of shady characters. You wouldn't believe the kinds of guys I've seen. The kinds of men that exist out there in the world. You and Mallory are too trusting, too quick to believe whatever someone tells you.
Oh, come on, Chase. Do you really think that we're that naive?
Yes, I do. You've probably just taken his word for everything, haven't you? You didn't dig deeper, did you?
That's enough of that, Chase. You're making it sound like we've spent our whole lives getting tricked by people.
I'm telling you, Mom, that guy needs to come back so that I can get a better look at him. The last time I saw him, I barely got a chance to size him up. It was just a quick glance at him walking by the street. I need to actually sit down with him and see what he's really like. So, when is he coming over again? I need to know.
I'll figure something out. I'll let you know.
Why are you so hesitant? Why can't you just answer me? I'm asking you a simple question. Hey, can we all quiet down for a minute? Some of us are trying to sleep here, you know? Why are you still here? Shouldn't you be on your way out by now? Why are you here? You should have left for work a long time ago, but instead, you're here making a racket first thing in the morning. What's going on here? I'm asking you, why are you still here, Mr. Smith? Shouldn't you have left already? And you, why are you still hanging around here? And stop calling me Mr. Smith. You can call me Dad, you know? It's not like I'm gonna bite your head off. Why are you still here? I went through a lot of trouble to get you that job, and now you're telling me you're not going? That job is a nightmare, Chase. I'm telling you, the people there are impossible to work with. They don't even know how to communicate properly. They don't show any respect, and the whole environment is toxic. My shoulders feel like they've been beaten with a hammer. It's not like I can just roll in there every day and deal with that. So that's your excuse? You didn't go because your shoulders hurt? I'd rather work in a restaurant washing dishes than deal with those guys. At least in the kitchen, people know how to behave. But those guys, they don't even respect the hierarchy. They just talk back, throw insults, and act like they own the place. It's disgusting. Fine, I get it. You don't need to go into all the details. If it's that bad, then quit. Just walk away from it. If it's not working out, there's no point in forcing it. You think I enjoy it? You think I want to be there?
Mom, I need to head out for work now. I don't have time to clean up the table, so I'm sorry about that.
It's fine, sweetie. You go on ahead.
Hey, where do you think you're going? I'm still talking to you. You can't just walk away in the middle of a conversation. You always do this. You leave when things get serious. It's like you don't want to face reality or deal with the hard stuff. So, where do you think you're going, Mallory?
Chase, enough already. Stop badgering Mallory. She's on her way to work. Don't you see that she's got important things to take care of? You can't just hold her back like this every time you have an issue with something. Let her go.
Mom, fine, I get it, she's going to work. But can I get some more food before I leave too? I barely had anything for breakfast and I'm still hungry. You know that I have a long day ahead of me.
More food? What's your wife doing? Shouldn't she be the one making you breakfast before you head out the door? You're going to work and she just lets you leave the house without even feeding you. I can't believe I'm still the one looking after you like this.
And you just go along with that? You think that's a good excuse? Honestly, I don't know how you put up with it. A husband is gonna work on an empty stomach while his wife sleeps in? It just doesn't sit right with me. It's infuriating, to say the least.
Well, what can I say? I'm just the mother-in-law who remarried, so I don't get to complain, do I? I can't speak my mind because I don't want to stir the pot or cause any trouble. But it's eating me up inside, Chase. It's tearing me apart that I have to hold my tongue when all I want to do is tell her how things should be. Brendan, listen to me. I know you don't always agree with me, but I'm your mother, and I'm saying this because I care about you. There isn't a person in this world who wants their child to go down the wrong path. No parent wants their child to make mistakes they can't take back.
I know, Mom, but just because parents have good intentions doesn't mean they're always right. You know that, don't you? Sometimes parents can be wrong about things too.
Of course, not every child from a divorced home turns out the same way. I'm not saying that. But there's a real difference between someone who grew up with parents who stayed together, who loved each other, and someone who didn't have that stability. I've seen it over and over in my 30 years of teaching. You can't tell me it doesn't leave a mark.
Mom, please stop with the generalizations. Just because someone comes from a divorced family doesn't mean they're damaged. In fact, I think it's better to end a miserable marriage than to stay in one just for the sake of it. People make mistakes, and sometimes divorce is the best option. The person I'm with now, she grew up happier after her parents divorced than she ever would have if they stayed together.
And how do you know that for sure? Can you really guarantee that's true? You don't know everything that goes on behind closed doors, Brendan.
Does it need to be guaranteed? Is that the standard now? No one can guarantee happiness, not even people with married parents. Why are you so focused on this one thing? I think it's narrow-minded to assume that just because someone's parents split up, they're somehow lesser. I believe she's happy now because she grew up with a mother who found her own happiness after the divorce.
Do you really think I'm living with your father because I'm blissfully happy every day? Do you think I've never had the thought cross my mind that maybe things would have been easier if we had gone our separate ways? Out of 100 families, I bet that at least 70 of them have thought about divorce at some point. The question is, how many actually go through with it? How many people stay together because they're willing to endure the hard times? It's about overcoming those struggles. That's what separates those who make it and those who don't.
And what exactly are they overcoming? What's the difference between people who stay together and those who decide to part ways?
The difference is whether they find a way to rise above the challenges or not. Some people are willing to fight through it. Others weren't meant to be together from the start. That's the difference.
Mom, I don't even know what you mean by weren't meant to be together, but honestly, you don't need to lecture me about this. I understand that you've been through a lot, but not every situation is like yours.
I'm just saying, do you really think it's that simple to end a marriage? Do you think her parents split up without any pain? Without any scars? The process of divorce leaves a mark, and it's not something you can ignore. You might not see it now, but it shows up eventually. Those kinds of wounds, they come out later in life. Isn't it practically the same as being raised by a single parent?
What are you talking about? She had a father. She wasn't some poor kid without a dad.
Her stepfather, Brendan. She has a stepfather, not her real father. That's not the same thing.
A stepfather can still be a father, can't he? Isn't that enough?
No matter how good he is, a stepfather isn't the same as a real father. At the end of the day, she only has one biological father, and that's what I'm talking about. You can't ignore that. Having just one parent who's truly your own, that changes things. You don't know what that's like, do you?
Mom, do you realize how hurtful that sounds? You're insulting every blended family out there. Do you really believe that families like that aren't as valid as traditional ones? That is an outdated way of thinking, and even if I were to accept your point, having two parents doesn't automatically make life better. Sometimes staying together for the sake of the kids does more harm than good. Parents who stay together but fight all the time can do more damage than a divorce ever would.
So what then? Do you think that every couple that argues should just throw in the towel and get divorced? Do you think that's the best way to handle things? Just because it has a bad effect on the kids?
It's not just about the kids, Mom. It's about the parents too. Sometimes divorce is the best option for everyone involved. Why should parents have to sacrifice their own happiness just because they have kids? Doesn't everyone deserve to be happy?
I sacrificed a lot for you and your sister, Brendan. Don't you think I know what that's like?
What did you sacrifice, Mom? You and Dad have always been happy together, haven't you?
We've had our moments. There were plenty of times when we could have fought, when we could have let things get ugly, but we didn't. We kept things together for you kids. That's what you don't see.
And what does that have to do with me? Just because you stay together doesn't mean it's the right choice for everyone else. Why are you comparing your marriage to her family? Just because they went through a divorce doesn't mean they're any less than you.
It's not the label of divorce that matters. It's the fallout from that divorce that you have to pay attention to. The aftermath isn't something you can just brush aside. It follows people around.
What aftermath? Why are you so certain there's going to be some negative consequence? Mom, we're just a young couple who's thinking about getting married. Why do you have to focus so much on the future and worry about something that hasn't even happened yet? When you married Dad, did you worry about what would happen in 30 or 40 years down the road?
At least I can say that I didn't leave you with emotional scars. I didn't leave you wondering if your parents would split up.
Well, you sure know how to hit me where it hurts. You're really pulling no punches today, huh?
It's not like I ever gave it much thought before. I've seen plenty of kids from divorced families during my years as a teacher, and I never really let it affect how I viewed them. But now that you're bringing this up, I can't help but think about it. I've seen what happens. I've watched my friends deal with their sons and daughters marrying people from different family backgrounds, and I've seen the difficulties it can cause. A friend of mine from back home got divorced 20 years ago, and even now it's still causing problems for her kids. I've watched students struggle with this too. Sometimes it's not about whether the parents are divorced or not. It's about the overall environment they grew up in. Even kids from families where the parents stayed together can have problems if the home wasn't stable.
What kind of problems are you talking about?
Why do you think people make such a big deal about whether someone comes from a divorced family or not? It's because there's a real concern there. Kids from divorced families are more likely to have attachment issues. What are you going to do if that happens? You can't just ignore that possibility. You can't act like it's not a real issue. People who grow up without seeing a stable relationship sometimes develop negative ideas about love and commitment.
Do you think I would be with someone if I thought that she was messed up? Do you think I'd be in a relationship with her if I didn't believe she was a good person? You need to get rid of those old-fashioned ideas, Mom. Not everyone from a divorced family is broken.
There's one thing I've noticed, though. One thing that keeps coming up.
And what's that?
People from divorced families tend to think that breaking up is the solution to everything. They think divorce is the easy way out.
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about. You've seen it too, haven't you? How easy it is for them to just give up when things get tough, instead of trying to work things out. They jump to the idea of separation or divorce.
That's not true.
It is. And that's why so many parents stay together for the sake of their kids. They don't want their children to grow up thinking that leaving is always the answer.
Whatever reasons you have, we're getting married, and that's final. I need you to accept that.
I know that parents can't control everything. I know that. But I'm asking you to think about it one more time before you make this decision. Your entire life depends on who you marry, Brendan. If you choose the wrong person, you'll pay for it for the rest of your life.
Dad, do you really think it's easy for me to call you Dad? Do you even know what it's like for me every time I have to say that word? Do you know how many times I've stopped myself from saying it? It's not easy at all, not by a long shot. So, what do you want me to do about it? What exactly are you asking for here? You're responsible for my mom, you know that, right? You married her, and that means you're supposed to be taking care of her. Yeah, I know. Dad, the guys I work with at the construction site, they earn their paycheck and take it straight home to their families. They spend everything they make on taking care of their wives and kids. They'll keep just enough to maybe buy a pack of cigarettes for $10, or maybe a couple of beers after work, and a meal at a diner for about $20. That's how they live. They don't keep anything for themselves because they know their families come first. What does that have to do with me? Why are you telling me this? I'm telling you this because you've made a mistake. You've disrespected people and you don't even realize it. You look down on others and that's what you did wrong. Why do you always have to look down on people like that? They were talking to me with no respect, using informal language like I'm their equal or something. What was I supposed to do? All you had to say was, "Don't speak to me like that." That's it. You didn't need to insult them. Didn't need to humiliate anyone. You didn't need to say things that attacked their character. You crossed the line and now you're not working. What are you going to do if you don't have a job? The people I've worked with have been rough around the edges. It's hard to deal with people like that. They may be rough, but they're honest. They don't cheat anyone, and they work hard every single day. Those men, they're not like you. They didn't run a business into the ground, and they don't have debts they can't pay off. They work, they earn, and they take care of their responsibilities. Oh, you little brat. I know you don't want to hear this, but someone has to say it. Those men didn't bankrupt their businesses, didn't fail to pay off their debts, and didn't end up having to file for bankruptcy. They're out there every day making an honest living. Meanwhile, you're sitting here acting like you're too good for them. You made mistakes, and you're still acting like you're better than everyone else. What did you just say to me? Who do you think you're talking to, huh? I am your father. Don't you dare speak to me like that. When did you start thinking you could talk down to me like this? Do you think being a foreman on some construction site gives you the right to lecture me? You think that's a big deal? I wouldn't be saying any of this if you weren't married to my mother. I wouldn't care if you were just some stranger, but you're the man who married my mom, the man who's supposed to be taking care of her. I'm not saying this for myself. I'm saying this because of her. You need to do something. You can't keep ignoring your responsibilities. You're not even giving her money for basic living expenses right now. Do you think I'm trying to avoid my responsibilities? Do you think I want to be sitting around doing nothing? Dad, there's no room for pride when it comes to making money. You've got to swallow your pride and do what you have to. Do you think it's easy for me to go back to work after everything that's happened? After I left like that? After I made a scene? Do you think I can just walk back in there like nothing happened? You've got me, Dad. You've got a son who's a foreman on that site. What's the point of having a son in a position like that if I can't help you out? I can smooth things over for you. Let's just go back tomorrow. You need to start earning money again, even if it's just a little bit. To be honest, Dad, there are times when I don't want to call you Dad. There are times when I just want to pretend that you don't exist. But I can't do that, can I? Because my mom's stuck in the middle. She's the reason I'm doing this. She's the reason I'm trying to help you. Because at the end of the day, I've got to make sure that she's taken care of.
My husband's been working as a research professor for about 8 months now. He's still got 4 more months left in his contract, and I didn't want to just sit around wondering how things would turn out, So I thought it would be good for us to meet up and talk. Just to get a feel for things, you know?
Yes, I understand.
You know, Mallory, you look really familiar to me. I've had so many students over the years as an elementary school teacher. Did you by any chance attend Green Valley Elementary in Oakwood?
Yes, I did actually. Wait, were you my teacher?
Mom?
Oh my goodness, I knew it. What a small world. I didn't recognize you at first because you've grown up so much and you're all made up now, looking so mature. But now that I look closely, I remember you. How have you been? How's your mother? And your brother Chase, how's he doing?
We're all doing well, thank you.
You were in the 5th grade, weren't you? Yes, that's right. You and Chase were just a year apart, right?
That's right.
I can't believe this. It's amazing to run into you like this after all these years.
Mom, maybe we should order something before we keep chatting.
Yes, you're right. Let's order. But before that, how's Chase? What's he up to these days?
He's working on a construction site. He's been doing a lot of physical labor recently.
Ah, so he's in construction now. That makes sense. Chase was never really one for sitting still and studying, was he?
No, he always preferred working with his hands.
Actually, Mom, Chase is working on a new development right behind our apartment building. They're putting up a bunch of villas back there, and he's one of the foremen. I even stopped by to say hello to him the other day when I was out.
Really? That's interesting. I had no idea he was working so close by. To be honest, from the perspective of a mother who's about to bring in a daughter-in-law, the biggest concern I have is the instability between your parents. You know, that kind of thing can really become a problem, especially when it comes to marriage. It's something that can't be ignored and it needs to be addressed.
Mom, are you seriously going on about this again? Haven't you already brought this up like 100 times? I mean, come on, just give it a rest.
And why shouldn't I bring it up? What else is there to talk about? If marriage is something we're considering here, don't you think this issue is going to stand out the most? We have to address it before it gets out of hand.
We already talked this through, Mom. We've been over it like again and again. I thought this was all behind us now.
Well, maybe you think it's done, but I certainly don't. And let's not forget we still need to talk about this with the person directly involved. It's not over until that happens.
But Mallory isn't the cause of the issue, Mom. You're acting like she's part of the problem, but she isn't. This is about her family, not her personally.
It's all right, Brendan. Really, I don't mind. Let your mom say what she needs to say. Please, Miss Thompson, feel free to go ahead.
You sure? Well, Mallory, I suppose it's a bit strange sitting here in this position, meeting my potential future daughter-in-law, only to realize she was once my student. But you know, maybe this is a good opportunity to clear the air and get everything out in the open. I figure why not have an honest conversation now, right? What do you think, Mallory? How do you feel about all this?
I'm okay with it. Please, Miss Thompson, I'd really like to hear what you have to say. Let's just put it all on the table.
So, here's the thing. It's not just the fact that your in-laws had marital issues that bothers me. The real concern is that you didn't grow up seeing a solid example of what a healthy marriage should look like. That's the problem, and it's a big one. Don't you ever worry about whether you'll be able to build a truly stable, happy home of your own someday.
Mom, you're seriously going there? You're making this way more complicated than it needs to be.
No, Brendan, it's okay. I've given it a lot of thought, and she has a point.
Good. That's the kind of thoughtful reflection I was hoping to hear. So what exactly have you been thinking about? What's been going through your head?
Mom, stop already. Why are you pushing this?
I've been asking myself if I'll be able to raise my children in a way that's happier and more stable than what I grew up with. It's something I've thought about for years, honestly.
Now that's the right mindset. That's exactly what you should be focusing on, making sure your kids don't have to go through what you did.
Yes, I've spent a lot of time reflecting on it, thinking deeply about what kind of parent I want to be.
That's good to hear. But it's not just about being afraid of what others might say. You have to make sure you're constantly improving yourself, making sure your own shortcomings don't become the excuse people use to look down on you. Especially since you grew up in a home that, well, wasn't exactly perfect.
Mom!
Brendan, please. I'm talking to Mallory now. Anyway, Mallory, I just want to make sure you understand that if you want to have a good marriage, and especially if you want to be a good wife, you're going to have to work hard to overcome the challenges that come from your background.
Yes, I understand.
Good. That's why you'll need to keep yourself in check all the time, making sure you don't repeat the mistakes of the past.
Mom, really? Mallory doesn't have any major flaws. Can we just stop with all the judgment?
Actually, Miss Thompson, there's something I'd like to say about that.
Go ahead, dear. I'm listening. What's on your mind?
In America, if a child from a divorced family shows any flaw, people are quick to blame it on the fact that they didn't grow up with both parents. But in many other places, people don't automatically link someone's personal weaknesses to their family background. They look at the individual, not their upbringing.
That may be true in other places, but here, well, it's just the way things are. It's a fact of life, Mallory, so you'll need to be extra careful not to give people any reason to say those things about you.
It just feels like I can't even breathe with all the judgments surrounding me.
Anyway, I'm curious. Is your mother happy with her remarriage? I mean, it must be strange for you to have gone through all that and then see her move on.
Mom, that's a really inappropriate question. You can't just ask that.
I'm just asking as a concerned mother. It's a natural question, isn't it? Mallory was my student after all.
Well, Miss Thompson, as her daughter, I've had to come to terms with seeing her as more than just my mother. I've learned to understand her decisions, even as a woman who had to make choices for her own happiness.
Understand her decisions?
Yes.
Do you understand why she chose to get divorced, even though she had children? Do you really believe that's something you can come to terms with?
Mom, please, this is too much.
I do understand. I understand that sometimes staying in a marriage for the sake of the children can actually be harmful. Sometimes it's better to leave than to let the children suffer through the conflict.
I suppose you have a point there. Sometimes staying together for the kids can make things worse for them in the long run.
Exactly. When I look back, the hardest thing wasn't the divorce itself, or even the judgment from people who didn't know us. The worst part was the constant fighting between my parents. That was what hurt me the most. And then there were the comments from people I trusted, friends, even from teachers.
Comments from teachers? What do you mean?
Some teachers, without meaning to, would make offhand comments about how children from divorced families are destined to fail. My teacher even told me that I should make sure to be extra good to my mom because I wasn't going to have an easy life.
Well, you know, sometimes adults just say things like that because they don't know how to explain difficult situations to kids.
Maybe so, but it felt like a curse. Like I was being told my future was doomed before it even began.
Oh, come on now. I couldn't have said something like that to you. That's just your imagination.
It wasn't just you, Miss Thompson. It was everyone around me. Relatives, family, friends, even close friends. They'd make snide comments saying things like, oh, she's acting that way because her parents aren't together, or you can't hide the fact that your dad's not around.
Did I really say something like that to you?
No, not you, but my parents and a lot of other people. They'd ask, "Are you staying with your mom?" As if I didn't even have a home.
Wow, I had no idea.
The worst part was when my best friend, someone I trusted completely, said, "Well, I guess it makes sense. Kids from single-parent families are just different." That hurt more than anything else.
Wow, Mallory, you're carrying a lot of resentment. That worries me.
Yes, I am. But what hurts more is that those words stung even deeper than what my teacher said about me not having much chance of success. It cut right through me.
Well, I always considered us close. I wouldn't have said something like that unless I cared about you.
Yes, it's true. The people closest to me were the ones who hurt me the most. The people I trusted the most gave me the deepest scars.
I can see how you'd feel that way, but I only bring this up because as someone who grew up in a divorced home, you need to make sure to fix whatever weaknesses you have. You need to work on yourself and be extra considerate of the people around you, especially those who matter most.
Miss Thompson, as I mentioned earlier, I've thought about this a lot. Ever since I was a child, I promised myself that I would never let my own children go through the same pain I did. I've made it my goal to create a happy, stable home.
And that's exactly what you should be focusing on.
That's why I had to grow up quickly. I had to become more mature at a young age.
You've always been thoughtful, even as a student. That's why I cared so much.
Mom, that's right. Mallory's always been incredibly thoughtful and mature. More so than most people. It's one of the reasons I respect her so much.
Respect? You're so young. What do you know about respect?
Mom, I mean it. Mallory's more mature than I am sometimes, and definitely more grounded.
Well, I suppose that's something.
Mom, I believe Mallory's upbringing won't negatively affect our future. In fact, it's made her stronger and more compassionate. She's going to be a wonderful wife and mother. I'm certain of it.
I believe you. But remember, you have to be mindful of your in-laws and your husband. You don't want people to talk behind your back.
Miss Thompson?
Yes?
I'm not responsible for my parents' divorce. So why should I have to work harder to earn approval from my in-laws or anyone else?
You need to break those prejudices, Mallory.
No matter what prejudices people might have, I'm not going to waste my life trying to change their minds. I refuse to live that way. I want to be accepted for who I am, not constantly fighting to prove myself because of something I had no control over. Miss Thompson, you mentioned that growing up in a divorced family is a flaw, but that's not the problem. The problem is the assumption people like you make, that just because someone's parents are divorced, they must be flawed. That's a bias and it's unfair. And if anyone holds on to that bias, that's their issue, not mine.
Well, aren't you just full of confidence? I can't believe you're standing here talking like this. What, so you just want me to think however I want?
Yes, Miss Thompson, I grew up in a divorced family. But from a young age, watching my parents' relationship fall apart, I promised myself I would never live like that. I grew up determined to build a life where love and respect would always come first, where I would never let things fall apart like they did for my parents.
Of course, naturally, that's exactly the mindset you should have. Everyone should aim to be better than their parents, especially if they grew up in a difficult situation.
And honestly, seeing my parents fight taught me more than anything else. I learned exactly what not to do. I know the kinds of actions, the kinds of words that can destroy a relationship. I've seen how damaging these things are, and it's because of that experience that I've made it my life's goal to create a happy family. I want to be the kind of wife who builds something beautiful with her husband, who nurtures and cares for the people she loves. That's my dream, to have a family full of love and peace, not the chaos I grew up in.
Yes, I hear you. And you especially need to be good to your children. After all, you had such a rough childhood. You know firsthand how much it can affect a child when things aren't right at home.
Miss Thompson, I don't know why you keep assuming that my childhood was so awful. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't as unhappy as you seem to think. I didn't walk around feeling miserable all the time just because my parents were divorced.
Mallory, let's not kid ourselves. Statistically speaking, children from divorced families have a much higher likelihood of getting divorced themselves. That's why I keep bringing up your future kids. I'm trying to help you avoid repeating the same mistakes. I'm only talking about this because I don't want your children to go through the same pain you did.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm confident in my ability to build a happy, loving family. I'm not destined to repeat the mistakes my parents made. I know what I want from my life and I'll do whatever it takes to achieve it.
You've got a lot to say for yourself, don't you? Why do I feel like we're going in circles? I'm not attacking you, Mallory. I'm just telling you how it is. All I'm saying is that you need to be careful. Live wisely. Treat your in-laws, your husband, and especially your children with respect so that no one can criticize you. I'm not being mean. I'm just stating the facts. Why are you taking this so personally?
Mom, can we stop now? This is too much. Mallory's had enough, and this conversation isn't going anywhere. Let's just end it here.
I'm realizing now just how deeply rooted these prejudices are. Listening to you, Miss Thompson, I'm honestly shocked by how much judgment there still is surrounding children from divorced families. And the most disappointing part is hearing it come from someone like you, someone who knew me when I was a child. I thought you'd be more understanding, but clearly this was a mistake.
What? What did you say? Listen to the way you're talking. Oh, this is exactly the kind of behavior people expect from someone who grew up in a divorced family.
Mom, are you serious? How many times are you going to bring up the divorced family thing? Do you even realize how hurtful it is?
Miss Thompson, why do you feel the need to hurt people who are already dealing with pain? You were my teacher. You know what I went through. Instead of passing judgment and looking at everything through a biased lens, shouldn't you be more understanding? Shouldn't you be careful not to add to someone's burden? Especially when that person is your former student?
I never tried to hurt you. What are you talking about?
You told me I'd be unhappy, that I'd struggle to succeed in life because of my parents' divorce. That kind of talk wasn't helpful. It was damaging. And even now, after all these years, you're still the same. Nothing's changed.
Well, you've certainly taken everything the wrong way. This is exactly what people mean when they talk about kids from divorced families.
Mom!
I'm sorry, Miss Thompson, but I think it's time for me to leave.
What? What kind of attitude is that? You think you can just walk away from this conversation?
Just because my parents are divorced doesn't mean I have to constantly prove myself or act subservient to my in-laws. Their divorce wasn't my fault. I shouldn't have to bend over backward to please you because of it. If the expectation is for me to act that way, it's not fair to my mom who raised me. And honestly, even if I stayed in a marriage and forced myself to endure this, the constant pressure would eventually break it apart. So I think it's better for me to leave now.
Mallory, wait!
Look at that. This is exactly what I've been saying. This is what happens with people from divorced families. They don't know how to handle commitment. They leave at the first sign of trouble.
Mom, stop. You're only making things worse.
I'm just telling you the truth, Brendan. This is how it is. People from broken homes, they can't help themselves. They don't know how to deal with real relationships.
Mom, enough, please! Dad? Yeah, I'm up. What's going on? What about Mom? Is she still asleep? Yeah, she's still sleeping. Didn't want to wake her up this early. She's been exhausted lately, so I'll let her rest. Just milk and toast for breakfast? That's not enough, you know. You need something more solid if you're gonna last through the morning. Oh, come on, I like to keep it light, especially when I've got an early shift. It keeps me from feeling sluggish out there. Besides, it's not like we're having a big meal this early. Dad, you know it's not just about what you eat, it's also about how you talk to people. Words can make or break relationships, especially with the guys out there. You gotta be careful. Are we really gonna go over this again? Didn't we talk about this last night? I know, but it's important. You already got the skills from running your own business. Now it's just about getting used to working with these guys in this kind of environment. It's a whole different ballgame, Dad. Yeah, I get that. I've heard it before. You gotta be more open-minded, though. Be flexible. If you treat them well, they'll treat you well in return. It's all about mutual respect. You know that. So, what is this now? You acting like the real father here, lecturing your stepdad? You're the stepson, and now you're the one handing out life lessons? No, Dad. I'm just trying to help. All right. Enough of the lectures. I've heard enough. But seriously, Dad, if you go in thinking you're above everyone else, the relationships will fall apart. In this line of work, once someone decides they don't like you, that is it. It's really hard to turn things around after that. Okay, I got it. I'm hearing you loud and clear. Dad, to be honest, you're the least experienced one out there. Not everyone out there has had the kind of flashy background or fancy education that you've had, but you need to treat them like they're just as capable. Yeah, right, I get it. You sure know how to nag. In a year, I'm planning to step down and give you my position as foreman. After that, I'll focus on starting my own business. All right, I get it. You're driving today, by the way. Well, looks like you've got yourself a pretty good assistant. You're really putting me to work now, aren't you?
So, I ended my 2-year relationship with Brendan. It all started when we reconnected 7 years after graduation, this time as business partners, and eventually began dating. It wasn't easy for him, I could tell. But when it comes to relationships between men and women, no matter how close you are, once it's over, you become strangers. It's nothing like the bond between parent and child, which remains no matter what. As for my parents' divorce, at first it hurt. It was hard to accept that my brother and I felt like extra baggage in 2 separate households that weren't really ours. We didn't fit into either family anymore. But I've decided not to dwell on that anymore. I'm moving on from it. I've watched my brother and stepfather clash and grow, and in the process, they became family. It made me realize something important. Just like we need the freedom to choose who we want to be with, without our parents interfering, they too should be free to make their own decisions. Otherwise, they'll end up blaming their kids or each other for the choices they didn't make. And what good is that? It's their life, and they should live it the way they want. We all need to respect each other's choices. Life is complicated, but if we can be more understanding and open-minded, we'd be a lot happier.
Chase, my goodness. I almost didn't recognize you. You've grown up so much since the last time I saw you. And now it just feels strange to talk to you.
Yes, Miss Thompson, it's been quite a while. You know, Mallory never mentioned that her boyfriend's mother was you, so this is quite a surprise to me.
Oh, I'm not here to make a big deal out of it. I live near here, so I thought I'd come by for a quick chat. Don't read too much into it.
No, of course not. I understand.
I don't think you know all the details about the situation, but I'm sure you've got a general sense of what's going on.
Yes.
You know, these days, young people think it's all fine if they love each other and get along. But we older folks, well, we don't see it that way. Marriage is something that needs to be carefully thought through, and the background and upbringing matter a lot in these things.
I understand. When it comes to marriage, those things are important.
Exactly. And even though times are changing, a lot of families still hold on to traditional values.
I agree, there are many families that feel that way.
To put it simply, what Mallory did, walking away like that, was completely inappropriate, especially in front of her future mother-in-law. It's not something that should have happened.
Well, I think I need to hear Mallory's side of things before I can comment too much on it.
Yes, of course. I raised my children to be respectful and mindful of others. My son and his sister, too, were brought up in a way where they knew better than to act in a way that would make others look down on them. That's why I can't help but feel concerned about Mallory, coming from a divorced family. There are so many things that worry me.
I can understand your concerns, but didn't Mallory already say she doesn't want to get married?
That's what's so shocking. I raised my kids well. Not because I was aiming for some grand match, but because I wanted them to marry into families that were wholesome and stable.
Well, people from grand families usually end up with others from grand families, wouldn't you agree?
What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying, why would a wealthy family be looking to marry into yours?
Anyway, all I ever wanted was for my children to marry someone who grew up in a harmonious home, someone who was raised right. And now that things have gotten to this point, I think we should move forward.
But, Miss Thompson, if I may ask, why did you come to see me?
I told you already, to make sure this marriage happens.
But that doesn't make any sense. You've said you don't approve of Mallory, and Mallory herself said that she doesn't want to marry your son.
You think it's that simple? My son refuses to speak to me. He's threatening to cut me off completely because of this.
Well, looks like even the best-raised children have their limits, huh?
What did you say? Anyway, I came here in good faith to talk to you. I need you to help convince Mallory to go through with this marriage.
Why is that my responsibility?
You're her brother, aren't you? Don't you want what's best for her?
From what you're saying, it sounds like marriages should only happen between people who are equally matched, so they'll be happy. Do you really think that this marriage will make her happy?
Well, that's up to you. If you help Mallory change her mind and go through with the marriage, you'll be ensuring her happiness.
Actually, I think the opposite. If this marriage goes through, it'll only make her miserable. It's not a good match, and frankly, it feels uncomfortable.
Excuse me.
To be honest, having a mother-in-law like you sounds like a one-way ticket to unhappiness.
Now that's exactly why people say bringing in children from divorced families is a bad idea.
Miss Thompson, I'm holding back out of respect, but you need to stop with the divorced family comments. It's not something you should throw around like it's nothing.
Seeing how you're talking to me now, I'm more convinced than ever that my child should marry someone from a solid, loving family, not someone from your background.
So why are you even here then? If that's how you feel, you should stick to it.
You know there's a reason people say that kids from single-parent or remarried families have a harder time. They grow up with so much instability and hardship that it carries over into adulthood. They never get the same recognition or success as those raised in stable homes. Just look at the situation in front of us.
What are you saying? Are you talking about me?
No, I'm talking about your sister. Poor girl, growing up in a broken home like that. She's been marked by misfortune from the start. She didn't get the recognition she deserved, and she's lacked the luck to form meaningful relationships. How can someone from a family like that ever expect to have a proper marriage? Her whole life is shaped by the trauma her parents caused, and she'll never escape that curse.
Wow, you're really laying it on thick with the curses today. Well now, isn't this something? Quite the speech, Miss Thompson.
Who are you?
This is my father. That's right. And it seems that misfortune has a way of attracting unpleasant people. Wouldn't you agree, Miss Thompson? Just like the one standing right in front of us.
Are you implying I'm one of those unpleasant people?
Oh, I'm not implying anything. I'm saying it outright. You're a walking embodiment of what someone would call trauma, just like you're a source of it for your own son.
Trauma? Who says I'm causing trauma?
Well, based on your behavior today, you're definitely causing some emotional damage, whether you realize it or not.
If you're a stepfather, maybe you should know your place and step aside. You're not even a real parent.
Not a real parent, maybe, but I sure as hell stepped up and raised these kids alongside their mother. We worked together, and that's more than enough.
Regardless, this is a disgraceful situation. I came here as an adult to talk about a serious issue, and I'm met with this kind of disrespect.
Disgraceful? Let's not throw that word around too loosely. From what I've heard about the things you said, I'm not so sure you were exactly a model of grace yourself.
What are you implying?
I'm saying that the things that you said to Mallory at that meeting were pretty out of line. Isn't that also disgraceful?
Let's just drop this. We're teacher and student here. I came to say my piece. Now give me Mallory's new phone number.
Why? She changed for a reason, didn't she?
Just give me her number.
Don't order me around, Miss Thompson. This isn't a classroom, and you were never exactly a teacher I respected.
What do you mean, no respect?
Well, now that's something to see, isn't it? A retired teacher refusing to take the hint, clinging to the situation even after she's clearly lost the argument. Pretty sad if you ask me.
Is this really how it's going to end?
Miss Thompson, let me speak as a parent. Our family is fine, but if, hypothetically, my child were bringing home a spouse from a divorced family and it bothered me, I'd gracefully step aside rather than causing unnecessary conflict.
You think I want to be here? I'm only doing this because of my son. He's the one who's upset.
Miss Thompson, children from divorced families often seek out partners from loving, peaceful families. Maybe it's time to let Mallory find happiness somewhere else, with a family that will treat her well. Stop causing her so much grief.
What? You can't be serious.
Did I do good, son? Nailed it, Dad.
Hey, Brendan, is it really true that you're going to be transferred out of here? Oh, hello, Andrew. I hope your evening is going well. Enough with the formalities. I was asking you a question. You answer your supervisor when he asks you something. Tell me, is it really true about the transfer? Are you really finally out of here? Well, I'm pretty sure it's already been announced via internal email, so yes, it is true. Well, I took the day off and wasn't checking my email. I heard about it from a coworker. Oh, well, okay then. Anyways, yes, it's true. Man, I really just can't believe this. I was told I was going to be transferred as early as next month, so not a lot of time to get ready. I have to say, I really enjoyed working at this branch of the company, and I think I will really miss it. But after this month, I'm gone. Oh, really? Is that how you feel? You don't think the timing of your transfer is weird at all? Well, I do think it's a little weird. Kind of sudden. In fact, I heard it was a pretty contentious talk with our higher-ups about the timing of it all. I see. Very interesting. So it was a pretty good deal then. Well, I don't know what you did to make them think so highly of you, but I guess it was enough to land that transfer. You must think you are just the king of the world or something right now, huh? Sorry, what did I do to convince someone? I mean, you convinced the higher-ups to somehow give you a demotion. A demotion? What do you mean? Well, what else could this be? What do you think was happening to you? So, where are you getting transferred to? The new branch down in Arkansas? Or are they just giving you your own project to manage all by yourself and see how long it takes before you quit? I don't really think it's a demotion. Oh, please, there is no need to be so naively modest. Or do you really not see how your career is over before it even had a chance to start? Well, I don't know what you did to piss off the higher-up so much that they chose to demote you on the spot. Whatever it was, though, it must have been pretty bad. They must have thought that you were just showing no hope and that they had no other choice. But hey, at least you didn't get fired, right? Right. Well, is that all? So, do you know where you're being demoted to? Where are they transferring you to? I think it was written in that email that went out if you just want to read that. Alright, fine, be that way. I guess I'll just have to wait until I go into the office tomorrow to find out your fate. I just really wanted to hear it straight from you, though. Can you at least tell me which office they're moving you to? Actually, I'm being moved to HQ. Wait, what? Hey, Brendan. Morning, Andrew. What can I do for you today? Yesterday, when you told me you were being moved to the HQ, were you serious about that? Because I heard that it wasn't just you being moved. I even heard that Kathy, who you know I've had my eye on for months, is being moved too. Well, yes, that is what the email said. Last year when there was the company-wide contest, we both signed up and our proposed plan was the one chosen as the winner. Oh, are you talking about the contest where you submit product ideas? I heard that the winner of the competition came up with $1 million idea. But the prize for that was getting a job at the company HQ? So you did know about the contest? Well, my uncle who works at the HQ mentioned something about it to me a while ago, I think. You have an uncle that works at the HQ? Well, duh. He put in a good word for me when I was applying here and basically got me the job. He is a department head over there. Oh, well, all of this makes so much more sense now. And just what is that supposed to mean, huh? Oh, never mind. I really don't care how you got the job. You know, it really isn't my business. Oh, well, I must say I have to thank you for working so hard to make me look so good. Well, I wasn't doing it to do that. I was just working hard at my job, you know? I'm sure you were. Now I know that you're scheduled to be transferred to HQ, but I'm wondering if I can't convince you to give me the job instead. Sorry? What do you mean by that? Well, I want to transfer together with Kathy. Then I can work at HQ with her and my uncle and be even closer to my company connections. I've been told about this promotion before, but all I need is proof that I've done something big to earn it. So, as your boss, I'm going to take credit for your $1 million idea and say it was my own. Andrew, you can't really be serious about this, right? What's the matter with you? I thought you were a good worker. You should listen to what your supervisor has to say. Well, I don't even think that I have the authority to give you my job, even if I wanted to. Why don't you just come up to the meeting room on the 3rd floor and we can talk about this in person? I've invited the branch manager there too. We can all talk together. Okay, sure thing. I'll be right there. Just a minute, please. And that is how it is done. I just happened to walk into the meeting room and you had already fallen from the window. Got it? I didn't do anything. You were already halfway out of the building when I walked into the room, right? You remember it happened that way, don't you? I'm sure falling from that high up meant that you at least got a bit banged up, right? So I guess that means you won't be healthy enough to move to HQ and I will have to take your place instead, huh? Your hard work is gonna launch my career to whole new heights. Basically, in other words, your $1 million idea is all mine. And don't even think about calling the cops, or next time, I'll just drop you out of a higher window. Don't forget that I have family already at HQ. You have no one in your corner who could even come close to my uncle there. The best thing for you to do is just sit back, don't fight it, and let this happen. There is nothing else you can do to stop me. Anyways, good luck with everything at the hospital. Hope you didn't get too hurt. Oh, and don't worry about Kathy. I'll take good care of her while we're working together at the HQ. Have a nice life.
Brendan, are you okay? I couldn't believe it when I saw you crash into the bushes.
Oh, hey, Kathy. Thank you so much for earlier. I would have never been able to pull myself out of there if you hadn't helped me untangle my suit from the branches.
I'm just glad that you weren't dead.
Well, you acted really quickly, and I think that saved me a lot of hurt. I was so scared when Andrew was pressing me closer and closer to the window. But when I looked down, I saw the mattress that your family brought and put right where I was gonna fall.
I'm just so happy that we were able to make it in time. We cut it really close.
Well, I guess it was just lucky that your family happened to own the mattress store right behind our office.
It really is. Otherwise, I don't know what might have happened to you if you just fell onto the ground. And I just can't believe that Andrew would go so far to try and steal your job. I've heard what a terrible person he is to work for, but I never would have thought he was capable of pushing someone out of a window like that. Either way, when you messaged me about being worried about this meeting, I was just glad we got everything together in time.
Me too. You have no idea. Though I'm sorry that I got the mattress all dirty and ruined it when I landed. I can pay for whatever it costs, of course. Just have your family send me the bill. It is the least I can do for what they did for me.
What are you talking about? Of course we're not going to charge you for the mattress.
Are you sure? I feel so bad for putting you out like that. Also, I take it that Pierce still hasn't heard about what happened, right?
He was out taking care of business around town, but he just got back a moment ago, so I already told him all about what really happened.
Kathy, I really don't know what I would do without you. Thank you so much for all of your help.
Well, I didn't really do anything. It was all thanks to my family that we're able to pull this off. Pierre was really surprised at what I told him, but he said that he wanted to wait until you returned to the office so that he could hear the story from you himself.
I see, that makes sense, I guess. It is a pretty crazy one. It shouldn't be much longer until I'm back.
By the way, just so you know, Andrew already went home. He was looking extra smug as he left the office this morning.
I can't believe it.
But I guess because you landed so far from the entrance, he didn't even notice the mattress or any of my family helping you up from where you'd fallen. I guess he went home without even bothering to check on what happened to you.
Well, honestly, I think that will probably just work in our favor. At least I'm safe now, and now we both have something we can use against Andrew. I think that's what really matters most right now. Hey, Brandon. What happened? How are you okay? There is barely a scratch on you. Oh, good morning, Andrew. Since we work in the same office building, maybe you should come over to my desk and ask me in person. What, are you some kind of ghost or something? How are you here? That's right, I'm a ghost who can still send texts and who shows up to work. Don't you get smart with me, just tell me how you walked away from the fall totally fine. It's a real mystery, isn't it? How am I fine after taking a 3-story fall yesterday? I wonder. No, just tell me what happened already. Well, obviously there were people on the ground who came to save me before I fell out of the window. Also, you probably didn't know this, but I used to be a stuntman before working here. Wait, what? You were a stuntman before you came here? That's right. In fact, my $1 million idea was more or less based on my experience in that job. But that really isn't what we're talking about right now, is it? Well then, what are you talking about? Andrew, you really don't even know the mess that you're in yet, do you? Well, what are you talking about? I haven't done anything wrong here. Well, you can tell that to the cops because I've already filed a report against you. But you aren't even injured. Injuries or no, the fact of the matter is that you pushed me out of a 3-story window with the intent to seriously injure me. Oh, well, sure, but it didn't work. And it's a good thing it didn't, for me and for you. If I did happen to get seriously injured, you would be in even more trouble. At least this way you can get away with only being charged with the lighter crime. Oh, wait, no, you can't be serious. Did you seriously go to the cops about this? Do you know what I'm gonna do to you now? What was that you said? Push me out of a higher window? That's right. And now you're about to find out just how serious I was when I said that. Well, it certainly looks like some pretty good evidence against you. And you should also know that in addition to being a stuntman, I've been practicing martial arts for a couple of decades now. Wait, you're also a martial artist? Just what kind of a person are you? Seriously, what else have you done that I should know about? Well, you don't have to worry. Obviously, I don't want to beat up someone who probably doesn't even know how to fight. Besides, I don't even want to fight anyways. That is why I went to the cops. But then, my promotion to HQ, my transfer with Kathy, none of that is going to happen anymore. Oh, right. Speaking of, I was talking to the head of human resources at HQ, and they said that you were going to be demoted for what you did to me. Oh, wait, but my uncle is head of HR. You mean that he is going to demote me? That's right. He heard about what happened between us from Pierre. He was yelling at your uncle about how he was going to refuse to let you get away with this just because of who your family is. Are you serious? Oh, please tell me you aren't being serious right now. Oh, I am. I even heard that your uncle called your parents. They actually just called me to apologize for what you did. Wait, you mean my mom and dad called you to apologize? They did. And they really do seem like lovely people. It's a mystery how you ended up being their child. Oh, I don't believe this. This can't be happening. Oh, this is too much. I feel sick. Oh, my head is spinning. I take it that you haven't heard about any of this, though, have you? I think the idea was to keep you in the dark until you showed up to work, where it would be easier to catch you. Otherwise, you might have ran away. So then, I have no one left? No one on my side? I'm afraid not, Andrew. And my transfer with Kathy? All gone? Okay, buddy, you really need to stop trying to hit on my girlfriend. Girlfriend? What do you mean by that? It doesn't really concern you. The only thing you need to worry about is preparing the handover for your successor when we hire them, okay? But what is going to happen to me? You aren't just going to leave me like this, right? I thought you wanted to be a good employee. You can't treat your boss like this. Sorry, I have to get back to work right now. I had already gone to the police to file my report against Andrew. I also hired a lawyer who helped me sue Andrew for damages. Andrew ended up quitting his job after I put a restraining order against him. He moved back in with his parents, who would only take him in on the condition that he found another job. They had an in with a nearby factory owner and found a job for him there. Andrew also had to borrow money from his parents to pay what he owed me for the lawsuit, and now spends all of his time working and trying to save up enough to pay back his parents. I just hope Andrew learns his lesson. Meanwhile, Kathy and I have been enjoying our new positions at the company headquarters and living a quiet and happy life together. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.